Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Dr. Maszlee Malik, currently the chairman for International Institute for Advanced Islamic Studies, a think tank under the Prime Minister Department of Malaysia. And I was a former MP of Simparangam in Malaysia, and also a former Minister of Education.
In terms of with Malaysians and living in Malaysia, obviously you guys have a huge 60% population. But when it comes to things like halal food, are these things easy to come across?
Definitely.
Everywhere.
Yeah, Malaysia is heaven for halal foods.
Okay, so the standard food is halal.
Trust me. You find quite sizable number of Muslims from China coming to have their second home in Malaysia, or coming to work or do their business in Malaysia, mainly because of two things: halal foods everywhere, and number two, the mosque. Yeah, so I still remember in my neighborhood, you'd find half of the staff consists, and I'm talking about staff, one staff is 100 or maybe 200, it's a big mosque, half of them are China Muslims. And you find some European Muslims who decided to work or live in Malaysia just because of halal food.
Yeah, I mean, I know a few people that have moved to Malaysia because they say it's just beautiful to be around the Muslims there.
But if you ask me, I would suggest them, don't leave the UK, but establish more halal restaurants here, halal outlets here. I have this experience. I went to Frankfurt for the first time in 2014. And then when I was a minister in 2018, I went there again. And after COVID, it was last year, I went back to Frankfurt. The difference was, in 2014, it's very hard for me to find halal foods. It's always either kebab or Pakistani foods or Arab foods. Pakistani foods. In 2018, Alhamdulillah, there are few, non-Arab and non-Pakistani or Indian foods, which is halal. But now you go to Frankfurt, you'd find all these latest hipster cafe, fusion restaurants, hamburger, a lot of even the Thai restaurant, Chinese restaurant offering halal food. So, and I was told that that's not only the case of Frankfurt, a lot of other cities in Europe has turned into that. So turn your own city as halal destination. Halal food destination.
I mean, I feel like Manchester, we've already done it now.
Oh, no, you need to worry.
We have halal everywhere.
And you have the halal street, Roshum.
Exactly, we call it the Curry Mile.
The Curry Mile. Just like Chicago. I still remember, I went to Chicago in 2016. I thought I was in Manchester, because towards the end of the road, I found a lot of Torah schools, just like the Chatham Hill, Exactly, in Chicago. So please make a lot of halal restaurants and halal cafe in the UK.
I just want to ask Dr. Maszlee Malik, what the halal development in Malaysia is, what is going on now in terms of futures development of halal things? Because I heard a lot of Malaysians doing the development things in terms of technologies, in terms of procedures, in terms of try to approach people how to do the right things in the halals. Can you try to explain a bit?
Halal industry is a massive industry. Not only is an emerging gargantuan industry when it comes to foods and beverages, but also it also encroach the field of pharmaceutical, for example, and a lot of other things, makeups and a lot of other needs when it comes to halal, vaccines, medication, pharmaceutical. I have mentioned earlier about pharmaceuticals. And this emerging market and industry is not only being taken with huge concern by Muslim countries, but also by non-Muslim countries.
Yes.
Countries like China, Japan, Korea, Hong Kong, they're looking seriously into this halal industry, because they're producing F&Bs, definitely, and pharmaceutical products and makeup products, for Muslim market, and Muslim market is very vast. So you'd find not only when it comes to technology, but also when it comes to the procedures. Alhamdulillah, in Malaysia, Malaysian halal, or known as JAKIM halal. JAKIM is Islamic Authority in Malaysia, Central Islamic Authority in Malaysia, who certify halal. They're giving the certification of halal. And the certification of halal is a stringent process, whether it is for F&B, whether it is for pharmaceutical stuff, or whether it's for the makeups. But due to its stringent and strict procedures, everybody trusts it. So when you have Malaysian halal, it's been really halal. And it has been emulated by many other countries. Southeast Asian countries, normally they took Malaysian standard and Malaysian benchmark to be their guidance or to be their benchmark. Countries like China, Japan, Korea, you mentioned Hong Kong, Taiwan, they're also following the Malaysian standard of halal. And of late, you would have a lot of Muslim countries in the Middle East are following the halal standards of Malaysia as well, and also from Western countries. So I think, among other things that British Muslim heritage could explore is training for halal. You have a lot of restaurant operators, you have a lot of F&B operators, you have a lot of let me say pharmaceutical companies owned by Muslims. Why not we go for halal, and why not this center organize halal training for them? We get halal auditors from Malaysia to train and to certify. So I know that there's a body giving certification for halal, but for the operators, they need to be trained. We're not only asking them to push for the final products to be certified as halal, but they themselves must be equipped with adequate knowledge and adequate SOP procedures. Our SOPs, standard operating procedures of halal, so that they can follow, they can abide, they can live with it, and also they can share with others. And maybe who knows that if you start with Manchester, you start with the UK, you would be the central halal training center for Muslims in Europe.